Are you ready? Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Phenomenal.
You can get it on a plank or doing business with a bank. You can get it selling a cow. Matter of fact, I've got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own.
It could be that great chalk and biscuit coating.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own.
It could be that smooth toffee ice cream in the centre. Or that whole delicious golden gay time taste.
Hard to have a gay time on your own.
The Bogan force is too strong upon us. Our spirit is broken.
The Bogan is strong with you, but not nearly strong enough.
I am Lord Darth Vader, First Knight of the Sith, and right hand to His Eminence Prince Esper Valorum, the Master of the Bogan.
Let's see how you go with a can of beer up your exhaust pipe, mate!
What happened, Gandalf? Why didn't you meet us?
Oh, I'm sorry, Frodo. I was delayed.
If evil could be distilled down into bricks and stacked one atop another until they formed a house where wicked things are done by wicked men, then this would be such a house, luring in the depraved and abandoned, feasting on their tainted souls and transforming them into the monsters that haunt its halls. And it's calling out for another. Mitchell Mad Dog Morgan was a jabroni, and never was. His dreams of wrestling are in the dumpster out back. He's going to drink himself to death and end it all, not knowing the house he plans to do it in has an even darker plan for him. It's going to break down his soul and claim it for its own. Mad Dog may have never been destined for glory in the ring, but all his failures were leading him to this, the main event of his life. To battle the house and free the souls inside. He will crawl, scream, bleed, but he's not backing down.
Yo, what is up? All right, that was a bit weird. What the hell? Where's that? Oh, I've still got that window open. Let's pause that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. A bit of an impromptu early morning show. It's kind of like maybe we might swap things. Maybe I might do the art share tomorrow. Actually, I don't know if I can. I might. Anyway, we will see. Welcome, everybody. Hope you are well. Hope you're well. I don't know where Adam is. He's the one who wants to do it at this time. He is at New York Comic Con, and we were going to do it at the normal time. Then he said, "You know what? I have an event," because he's, important. And I said, "Yeah, okay, we could do that. We could do it before I go to work." And he has just popped in. There he is, holding a sec. Yo,
boom. How
you're
you
here,
doing, Michael?
I was worried that I might not be able to hear you too, because there's always the potential for audio issues when you're on the road.
I know. And so what I did is I have an office here in New York, in Brooklyn, for post-production. And so now you know. So it was one of the ways I was able to come out for the con, because there's been pushing the book, because the publisher has had this big retailer event here at New York Comic Con. And so I was like, let me go to the office, because I was there trying to figure some other stuff out on the floor in the press room, but it's so loud. I was like, this is never.
Yeah. I thought you might be in a hotel room. So this is so much better. Look, Mo says, what a majestic windowsill.
You got the majestic windowsill. You can see here.
Oh my God. Fancy pants.
Yep. We got the office here. No, it's a good ride. It's for our post-production, because I produce TV commercials, and this is our New York, our Brooklyn office. But yeah.
I do not, lo and behold, have a Brooklyn office myself.
You don't?
I thought your Brooklyn office was around
backyard. I know it sounds more like mad, pretentious than it is. It's just that most ad agencies are in New York, and so when they want to edit, they want to come in, to Manhattan. They don't want to fly to LA. So
I hear you. Look at this. Look at this photo.
Yes, in fact, I have a copy of it right here too.
Let me go full screen with you. There you go. How do I do that now? What's going on? Let me make this. Oh, there's a different button now.
Yeah, they switch it up to you're getting comfortable. So this is the ash can. So this is I brought a large pile of them for retailers, because so the lab doesn't have a so that's my partner on this company called the Lab Press, and they do big premium hardcover graphic novels. And this ash can we wanted to have here in New York for the con here. And so there you can see. So that is for the retailers. What you can't see in this photo, which is the big regret, is if you were to pan the camera just to the left, is Jim Lee.
Where? Is that him holding it? He came over. He was like, "I just have to get Mad Dog Morgan. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in comics since."
Yes, if only Jim Lee would have come up. Yeah, that would have been. I knew I would have arrived if Jim Lee's like, "Oh, I need your book." But he had a line of people so long you couldn't see the end of it.
Who is this guy anyway?
Yeah,
Who does he think he is?
So what it would be is, but this is all for retailer focused, right? So it won't actually be available on the con floor. It'll only be available to. It was only available to the retailers. So we were, because we had a big presentation with them. The lab put on this event for all the retailers, and so that's why these are so exclusive, is because only retailers will have them, and they'll be flipping them for horrific numbers. Make no mistake. But we did a large overprint of them so that we have them for people who back the comic book in the first 48 hours. This is the ash can you can see here, and I love what we do at the back here. You can see, so this is the front side of it. So this is Maxi Dallo and Mike Spicer did the colors. Trevor Richardson did the design.
I love that cover.
Isn't that great?
Is this different book? Is it the same stuff on the inside as a smaller version of what the main book is?
Yeah, so what the difference is this is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's in black and white.
Cool.
So it's the first 16 pages of the story, which at the core of it sets up what this book is about. Essentially, it's colliding this haunted house with this wrestler, right? And it
We're
sets
going to
those
get into it in a second, Adam.
Yep.
I just want to very quickly, because I neglected to say hello to the chat because all discombobulated here. So I'm just going to say very quickly, say hello to the chat. And amazingly, no one snagged the first today. Mo did the question mark first. So we know that doesn't count. We got Valley Law here joining us too. Citizen Ronan is here. Casey Anthony, what's up? We've got David L. Always great to see you. I see David Brink too in the house from Genuine Comics. Greatest Outlet has joined us as well. Mark Burton Shaw, Oasi V, fellow creator. And my lovely wife is joining us here too. Oh, and Lieutenant Hughes as well. Felix Huss, the Link Master Extraordinaire, has just posted the link to the Kickstarter in the chat. I've pinned it. Lieutenant Hughes says still a fest. Sorry, Genuine Dave Brinks just did it, but I can't put you up there, Dave, because we're in the middle of the show. But you get it. It's your honor. There is the campaign I backed yesterday because I wanted to make sure I get the that 48-hour ash can. And look at that, you just made
Michael, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to
reduce.
log out and log back in. For some reason, I can't. I stopped being able to hear you.
Oh, okay, sure. I knew there'd always be audio issues. What's up, George? What happened to X? I tried to send you something. It said suspended. I have been unceremoniously suspended from X. It's been about a month now. I do have another account that I'm using, hopefully temporarily. I'll put the @ in there. It's MB0053, I think. And you should be able to find me there. All right, let's see if Adam is back.
I'm back.
You are. Oh, whoa, hang on. I got to remove the old one. I can hear you, but I can't see you. What the hell? There you are.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Yeah, there was an old. I've got old Adam. Let's kick him from the studio. We don't need him.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because for some reason I stopped being able to hear you, but I'm back.
Oasi says, "Tell Adam I want exclusive digital distribution rights." Well,
wow.
I don't know about that.
Well, you know, it's funny because the lab doesn't do any digital.
Yeah, what is this? What's the lab press? I saw
the lab press. So if you can imagine, so the lab press is a new publisher. They're about 1.5 years, 2 years old. The guy running the company is a guy named Dagan Walker. He's a good buddy of mine. We did several movies together. And he's moved into publishing, and they're a really fabulous company that is quite honest, and having dealt with a lot of publishers, that's kind of hard to find. And what they do is they do prestige format books. So what you're looking at right there is the hardcover edition of the book, and is how it will live. There won't be like a trade or floppies per se. It will be this. As it goes
so
out.
I backed it. Yes, I'm getting a hardcover Mad Dog Morgan. Is that what's happening?
With a slip case.
Oh, with a slip case.
And you're getting the ash can. And you're getting the ash can. And you're getting a foil print. So that's that package was cool. And so this cover is also exclusive to the campaign. It won't exist in retail later next year. And the foil print will never exist again, the art for that. So there's some new cool design stuff that's just exclusive to this. And so what they are is they're a comic book publisher, but they only do graphic novel hardcover format, like the French, larger sized, hardcover editions for the book. And so anyway, so Dag and I have been talking about this for a while. I finished the book. Actually, Maxie and I did the book completely alone. I pitched it. They ended up buying it. I shouldn't say buying it's probably the wrong way to say it, but partnering up on it.
Publishing it.
Yep. Partnering up on it together with us. And so I wanted to do something crowdfunded wise between now and the time we can go into retail, which is until mid next year. And also to give something back to the backers, do something unique. They have this leather bound edition as well in the campaign.
Yeah, I saw that. Let me find that one.
But if you scroll down just a little bit there, Mike, you see right there, you see those, that's the leather bound. And you can see those little images right there. That's the slip case, like the front and back of the slip case.
So the slip cases are going to have gold foil on it.
Yeah, well, it has gold foil on the slip case, on the front and back, and on the spine. And then if you can see the book itself on its spine has a gold labeling there. and that's how they do for all of their books.
Dang.
And so so if you collect their books, it ends up quite a beautiful display.
Yeah, shout out to the Lab Press, and there's that leather bound edition there, and that I'm assuming that's going to be gold foil as well.
Yeah, it's all gold foil, and it's it's a hefty leather bound awesomeness. And so it's like the premium edition. So that edition will only be for the campaign. No, so Mark, it's not the Jawbone Death guy. That was Jason Krager.
No, he's asking if you're the Jawbone Death guy.
Oh, yes, I am the Jawbone Death guy.
You are. You and
Jason Krager.
Jason Krager. Damn, I can never remember his first name. I really love his actor. I'm reading that next. That's the next one on the Cocktober extravaganza. So that video will be coming out tomorrow. Look forward to that one.
I know.
Exciting times.
And I've been pushing Jason and beating him with baseball bats to get him to get the next pages done.
Oh, good.
But no one knows anything about getting artists to get pages done. That's
that's never a problem.
Anyway,
there you go. There you go. He's pushing him. He's hitting him over the head,
Mark,
with a chainsaw.
So Mark, actually, with that one, just so you know, buddy, the next drop is going to be, a 90. Essentially, it's going to be about 90 pages, and it will be collected that first issue you read, but colored, and then the next two. So it'll be its own. It'll have like a prestige drop to it.
Oh, yeah, because the first one's black and white. Yeah,
the first one was black and white, and like a good way to look at that is like almost consider that our ash can. But going forward, it'll be this colored, more like 60 to 90 page drops, and we're in the works with talks so that it will go to single issues later. But that's kind of the way we'll get that. So what's cool about that one you got is that will be the only way anyone ever got it.
Are you going to use the same colorist on this book, or you got someone else in mind?
Yeah, so it's going to be so if this is Mike Spicer again. So Mike Spicer did the ash can cover and the foil, and then Patricio Del Pesce did the colors interior. And I think him and Mike are in the same level of magic.
Good, yeah.
If you scroll down to the interiors, you can see them. But Jason Krager is actually coloring Jawbone. And
I didn't know Jason did colors. Oh, there you go.
He does. It has a much more retro feel to it.
I can see that. He's got that grindhouse kind of style, very gritty. That'll be interesting to see. Rick Saylor back at number 93 on this one. Let's go. Check out this awesome art. Sounds like a great concept. So it's a kind of a washed up, never was wrestler takes on a haunted house. That's
in the shortest pitch. That's it. And on a side note, see who's I've got there with me. This is Esquivo, because he lives out in New York.
Oh, hey man!
And if you want to send him the link, I was trying to copy it, send it over. He is drawing Mad Dog Morgan right now, and we should give that away to somebody. Oh, he's doing it on Procreate. He's doing a digital of it right now that we'll show at the end of the stream.
It's very cool. Let's see. I got to see if I can find, because I've got my old Esquivo art.
On X, your Esquivo art.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I will send him the link.
Yeah.
He has it. Excellent.
Awesome. So, but yeah, the core of the story, right, is it's about Mitchell Mad Dog Morgan, who's an indie wrestler. And anybody who's ever been to an indie wrestling event, you've never seen anything kind of like more desperate or exciting than that. And it has this. So he's on the pathway. 1 second.
While Adam's doing that, shout out to Skip and Metromorphic Psyche and Ferry Chan, who just joined on Instagram. We're streaming on Instagram now, Adam. It's a whole new world.
Dude, I love that, because I've been realizing, because I've been collecting much more backers on TikTok. It's not backers, sorry, followers. Yeah. And I've been like, I got to start streaming out to that crowd because they're really active. But you can, so the tale of it is he's, and an indie wrestler who never made it into the big arena, which was always his dream. And he has a life full of bad choices and a bad childhood. And he feels like he's a complete failure. He's become an alcoholic, and he decides he's going to go drink himself to death and cash out. But the abandoned house he goes to happens to be a haunted house.
Yeah, it looks
And
kind of. It looks like it was made to be haunted. It makes you wonder who would build a house like.
well, it's an evil house, as it says in the opening here. It's a twisted and ungodly house that was made, essentially, if evil had been distilled down into bricks and stacked one atop another, then you would get this house. And so imagine this house has been around for thousands of years, taking different shape, and it lures in people who are at the bottom of their life, and then it corrupts them and transforms them into the monsters that inhabit its halls, and it feeds off them, right? It's luring in those who are weak and sucking them dry. And so Mad Dog, feels like his life was a total failure. And when he gets in this house, the TV kicks on, the scenes from his life start to play, and the house is trying to break him down. And though he felt like his life was all a failure, actually all his failures were leading him to this moment, to the main event of his life, to do battle with this house, because it's trying to break him down. And he realized this is his chance to save the other people in the house and also to do some good with his life. And he rejects that at first, and he's lost in it. And then ultimately, with the help of the liquor store owner and this ancient deity who inhabits his mask, he ultimately realizes this is his destiny. And it's, because this house is this evil that it can only be seen by people it wants to see. So his failures actually set him
The
up.
house itself can only be seen by certain people.
That's right, because it lures in the failures and those it's trying to lure in. It otherwise it can't be seen. They just pass by it, and so he's been lured in, but really he's like the Trojan horse. And he doesn't realize it. He's coming to destroy it. And there's this really cool. There is this disabled girl who lives across the street in a wheelchair, and it's been trying to call to her to get her to come. She's a wrestling fan. She ultimately becomes a part of the story because Mad Dog's his struggle from a wrestling standpoint is he doesn't know how to dazzle the marks. Right? He's a jabroni or a jobber. He's the guy.
What is a jabroni? I'm not familiar with that word.
So it's a wrestling expression. If you remember going to wrestling events, much more so back in the day and less so with modern WWE on Netflix, where every match is a main event, but you'd have these bouts where Undertaker would come in and slap some guy around for 5 minutes and then pin him. And he was not necessarily a wrestler of any sort of note, and he was just a jabroni, the guy that the big name just beats up and tosses around the ring. They have no finishing move. They're just like a body, right?
Right.
So in the storyline, he's always the jabroni or the heel, and he's somebody that as a result had never developed a signature move, and he was always the guy that's like, okay, you're going off against this guy, but you lose in the end, and you're the one the crowd hates, right? So that's
I do remember The Rock using that term, but I guess I never knew what it was. It was just as a generic insult.
Yeah, because a jabroni is like you're like, oh, you're the guy that comes in to just get tossed around. You're not even a real person, So or a
back
jobber.
in '94, Creators Outlet.
Boom, Creators Outlet. Thank you.
And you already answered it, Felissa. The publishing company is not doing digital; they just do these premium physicals. That's correct, yeah, Adam?
That is correct. And I wish it were a bit different, and that may change down the road for them, but they're trying to kind of preserve the prestige nature of art and comics, and they feel like this is a sort of a meaningful way. But I could see, that changing in the future, probably with them getting an app or something. But so that's what that expression is like, you're the guy that just comes in to get slapped around. And so he never got to be the face and win the match and have the signature move because he could never dazzle the marks. And the marks is the audience. That's the wrestling term for like the crowd. And you want the marks to pop, and that's get them excited, or to dazzle the marks. That's to get the crowd excited. And that he could never. That was his missing gift. And so he's what's cool about it is he's developing his last act of his wrestling skills in this house as well. He's got to dazzle the marks, as well as facing the demons inside himself and battling these monsters. So you get this great character drama tucked into this world of action and horror and suspense. Greatest jobber ever. Yes, the Brooklyn Brawler. That's correct. That is the quintessential jobber. And and so and then ultimately it you know pays off with him delivering his finishing move, right? And learning and gaining his finishing move. And I love that feeling, that tale, because I think this, you know, this came inspired to me, Michael, when I saw the this documentary called Behind the Mask. If anybody's seen it, it's an old school WWF documentary about different wrestlers, and there's this one with Jake the Snake in it, and the interviewer's talking to him, and all of a sudden, then Jake the Snake starts crying. And
Is this when he's older and he's in a wheelchair?
No, Jake the Snake wasn't in a wheelchair at the time of this interview, though he may be.
Because I saw one that just sort of followed Jake the Snake around. He was quite old. He had to get around in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah, so that might be an additional one. This one was Jake was probably in his 40s.
Okay, yeah. This is way later then.
And there's a sadness, you know, about him because he never got to make his father proud of him. Like, and his dad passed before he ever got to think he was worth anything. And that story, that interview always kind of sat with me. Is what is that? You know, what is that story? What would that be like to live and feel that? And so that is part of Mad Dog's story. And then also I very much like the idea of a character whose failures actually set him up for his success, right? That he misunderstood his life and then in one moment realized what he was really destined to do. I loved that feeling kind of from the story of Samson in the Bible, you know, where Delilah cuts his hair and he's there chained up in between the two columns in front of the Philistines. And then he realizes this is actually his destiny, right? Push the columns over, wipe them out. And that feeling of like the road of bad choices led you to the opportunity to make the most right choice.
Mo, we read is that Creative Outlet? We wrote he was back in number 94. We said that, didn't we?
I kind of thought we did.
The gatekeeper isn't calling out my back. Maybe I just said he backed. I didn't say the actual backer number. Back in 94. I'm sure I did though. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But shout out Creators Outlet. Thank you very much. I know Felissa is a little, you know, it is an expensive book, but it is, like I said, it's a hardcover with a slipcase and everything, and that's what the publisher wants to do. So I get it. I'm in Australia, so everything is expensive to me. Although I get everything sent to the States, and then I have to pay it later on in a big package that comes over here. Mark says, are you intending all of your books to be one-offs, or are you doing a Lawson verse? If so, what would be the code of ethics? That's an interesting question.
The Lawson verse, you know, I've thought about that as far as like, do I want to tie these in together? You know, because I keep doing different stories each time. You know, with the Kill Journal, I've done the most iterations of it, and I've thought about tying them together. But I was like, man, am I just gonna like tie something together that 7 people know about, and then I'm like chasing this thing that like maybe isn't there? So I kind of just sat on the fence about it. Now, one thing I do have is like in this book, I'm doing a new book with a Schivo called Graveborn, and there's a preacher in it, which is going to be St. George from the Kill Journal.
Ah, that's cool.
I was going to sneak him in because the one thing also too from a rights management, it's really to like merge all your worlds is really tough because then you know then your stories start to fall apart, and like if you take these characters out of it, and you know how do they all fit?
Lose a bit of integrity, and
exactly. From like the rights, and if something gets bought, like these characters that are in these other 3 books, they bought this book. Now how does that work? But that being said, it would be exciting to do, and it would be cool to do even nothing else, just nods to each other where they're interacting in the same world, but maybe their plots aren't hinging on each other.
Yeah. People have mentioned it to me over the years, you know, hey, do you want to do it? And I'm like, I just don't see how it would work because all of my characters are based on the world they're in. You know, you can't just take them out of it and put them in another world. It doesn't really work like that because it's not the same rules. Welcome, Hero Darky Dark over on Instagram, and also Felissa Chan. Oh, we lost Adam. And we lost Esquivo. Says, yes, I understand. I live in the Netherlands. It's also crazy with the shipping. Maybe if it's in the stores. Yeah, he did say that once this is all Kickstarter exclusive stuff. Maybe he can. So
Yeah,
this is all
Felicity,
going to be
yeah.
Kickstarter exclusive stuff, and then it'll be going into stores later down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, so Felicia, I totally understand your concern, and I get it. And also, too, is it's not only just shipping hardcovers, but because of the small order number, it's not like they're then having a reshipper. And the like, what people do on the big scale is they print it in the U.S., they print a copy in the U.K., they print a copy in Australia, they print copies all over, and then ship from that territory. So shipping's inexpensive that way because it's going for inside of the EU or something.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because of the sort of the small nature of it, it isn't set that way. So it's a super bummer. So what my recommend to you is it will be in stores next year. They distribute through Simon and Schuster. And
Excellent.
so it will be there. And maybe I can convince them to do a digital. But I agree. That is tough. I wish I had a great answer for you. Because I agree shipping is awful.
Also, I wanted to say, you mentioned this guy, the liquor store owner. What's his connection to the story?
Right. So if you can imagine this without revealing too many spoilers and giving away, when Mad Dog is in his wrestling training and he's trying to define his character, who is he, right? He smashes through this wall and he finds this mask. He feels like it's kind of like this divine finding of this mask. And it's he feels like he's going to really find his character, and then he never does. Though that mask ends up coming later to have special powers. But this liquor store owner is somebody who knows the secrets of the house. Because what happens is once you've entered the house once, you can't leave it. Like when you exit the house and you walk around the neighborhood, you just find yourself back at the house.
Oh.
You can't get away from it.
It's like that show From. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, that's a great.
Yeah, once you get in the village, you can't get out.
You can't get out. So you always leave there. And the one exception is this liquor store shop where this person knows some of the secrets of the house. So it's the place he's buying his liquor, but he knows what Mad Dog is up to, and he becomes this sort of unusual mentor character in the story.
Awesome. Well, there you go. It is they've put Felix Huss has the link there in the chat. Tell us a little bit about New York Comic Con. What's it like? Have you done that before?
So it's been a long time. It's maybe, now that I was thinking back about it, it's probably been 20 years since I've been to New York Comic Con.
Whoa.
Maybe not 20, maybe 18 years. Yeah, it's 18 years ago. I did it last. So it's been a long time. But it's at the Jarvis Center. It's huge. In fact, I was just looking at the setup being built and looking at it from the glass up top, so you can sort of look down, because from the press room you can see down onto the floor. And I think it's more impressive than what was at San Diego this year for sure.
Massive.
Yeah, it's massive. The largest attended con in the United States, or comic-based con, and it's incredible. The spread is huge. All the set pieces. What's interestingly enough, though, is that the San Diego one has a lot more movie stuff, but anime and manga have really taken stage out there. Like the biggest set pieces are all Viz or One Piece, which is a part of Viz. It's all of those players.
Well, I don't know if you saw that graph a while ago. The manga portion of the worldwide comic book industry just utterly dwarfs. Even the webtoon portion is bigger than Marvel and DC combined, if you can believe it. It's crazy.
That is correct. It's because when you think about it, unfortunately, the thing about American comics, unfortunately, is that you started out, selling. It wouldn't be uncommon to sell like 3 to 5 million copies of a comic book in the 50s and 60s. Come on, Oliver, get here to New York. Because back then, like when my dad, when he was a kid, like everybody he knows owned comic books, and they were baseball comic books, and there were comic books about mountain men, and they were just like a way of, just being. And also too, social media to compete with. So it just had such a bigger piece of the market. Even when the United States had a much smaller population, they were still moving like 5 to 7 million. There's this amazing quote by this DC editor in the 70s. Like, it's just kind of crazy, man. We could only sell 3 million copies of Superman this week. You know, he's like, I don't know how the business stays together.
What year was that? Do you know?
It
what
was an
year
editor at DC in the late 70s saying, we only sold 3 million copies of Superman this
Oh,
month. I was like, I don't know how this business keeps going.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, or like a days where Chris Claremont and Jim Lee's X-Men, does 8 million units, right? Versus like Batman #1, which just relaunched the Batman franchise with Matt Fraction, was 500,000 units, right? And that's like peak. Though Berserker, Keanu Reeves,
that's massive at the moment.
That's the only thing big. So the biggest in the last 25 years, Berserker did 620,000. The Keanu Reeves book did 620,000, and then the Batman. Then there's the two Batmans. The one that that Frank Miller did, Master Race, and then this Matt Fraction Batman. They hit 500,000. Now this Planet Death book claims that it hit 980,000, but they were offering the books for like $1, and it was a very unusual thing.
Sorry, I always distract you with the comments on the chat.
No, that was hilarious. But that was, they were trying to, deliver that. They said it's a little south of 1 million, but those numbers are not very accurate because they weren't a traditional solicitation. So it's probably hard to, because they had like a $2 book and a $1 thing and things for free. Like, it's kind of hard to determine. I think the number isn't so accurate. So if peak is like 620,000 versus the average of 3 million, that's pretty.
It's a completely different industry then. It's a completely
exactly.
different
It's no
landscape.
longer. Yeah, exactly. And in fact, the guy who runs the lab said it best, Adam. He's like, listen, we need to get our comic books turned into movies so that we can afford to keep making comic books.
Yeah, I was watching a video from an indie publisher of Zen. I don't know if you know who this guy is. And he said the exact same thing. He said, the reality is they're all just trying to get movie deals, options, rights, TV shows, because that's where the money is. You can make some money back enough to make new comics, but they're all the publishers, even in the indie space, are trying to get movie deals. And if you look at, say, Mark Millar, I mean, you think like how many movies has that guy had made from his stuff?
There's no one has his. There isn't anyone that can touch his record outside of like Stan Lee, right? And Stan Lee and outside of the Marvel.
Maybe that'll be the future. All when Mark is older, he'll be the old guy coming on to
doing cameos.
Gentleman Part 12 being a
No, Mark Millar is the only. I mean, you think about the Kick-Ass movies, the Kingsman's movie, the Wanted movie, the American Jesus TV series, the Jupiter's Legacy TV series, Super Crooks TV series, like
maybe Vatican City in the future.
I hope Vatican City. I freaking loved Vatican City.
I haven't read it yet. I had it on my creator-owned list, and then I was like, and he's got Netflix on. I know Netflix owns all of his new stories, so I'm like, can't really. I can't really.
That's definitely not an indie book. It's paid for by Netflix, distributed through Dark Horse with Mark Millar writing.
Even though Dark Horse has done a lot of they do a lot of creator-owned stuff. I thought I better. I mean, I added on Kataru and Perfect 10, so I thought that was a good.
Yeah, those are much more realistic on the indie side. But I agree. It's like, how does what is that industry? What goes from 3 million to more like 100,000, right? If you have a drop of that note, you're 1/30th. It changes what it is.
It's going to change the focus. But what's I mean, you've done one day on the floor. What's the crowd been like?
Okay, so today wasn't on the floor. Today was just retailers. So they were just finishing the setups. Tomorrow it is, and I'm excited to see what the floor is like. And I've got
a Creators Outlet asked, will you be signing ash cans at the con when the public come in?
We won't. So the lab did not get a booth. So so the one chance to get it was retailers. So there will be retailers that have this in their shop that they'll be selling on eBay, and they'll be flipping them, I'm sure, for horrifically awful numbers.
So you just have to grab it off. You just have to grab it off here. And then
if you get the campaign, if you jump on the campaign and get
Are you going to sign them on the campaign, or is that something you're going to have to come meet?
I had not planned to sign them just by virtue of how tricky it is to get them looped back around. Like if I was going to sign them alone, first, like then I got to send them over to Maxi, and then you send them to the colorist in Argentina. It starts to, because Max, it starts to get kind of like all of a sudden it becomes thousands of dollars to like ship it around the world to get signed and back and all that. So it's a TBD for the moment, but if it was going to be, it would end up probably just being me.
Either way, the best way to get it is to back. You've got is it end of today? End of today,
yeah, tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. PST time, it ends. To get this, so this is the best way to get it. And for sure, anybody who gets it, you can flip it for whatever you paid for the campaign. Because once the book goes into solicitation and you have an ash can like that, it's that exclusive. And it was officially distributed at New York Comic Con. And retailers will officially have it. It's the real thing. It'll be a rad collector's item. That's why I wanted to do it so badly, because the lab doesn't do them. I said, no, we got to do this for all of the backers who come in to say, hey, listen, you have something that cool, that collector exclusive. So.
Yeah, you've done well with these little collector items, cool stuff over the last couple of years or so. So I think it's a good idea. Eddie Winkler's just joined us. He agrees. He says this looks really cool. What's up, Eddie? Always great to see you. Welcome to Vice Tater over. And I love how people actually show up on Instagram. We were doing it streaming to Twitter. No one ever turned up, but people actually tune in on Instagram. So that's super cool. There's more people here in the chat.
What's good about Instagram is when you go live, all of your followers get a notice.
Yeah, they don't do that on Twitter. Or maybe I don't know, maybe people just don't want to watch on Twitter. They certainly don't do it on YouTube. Sumo Thori is like, oh, you've just been going for half an hour? I sent out a tweet 45 minutes before it started. But it is what it is. And again, look, Jonas just joined on Instagram as well. That's cool. Now we've got more people watching, so I do want to play the trailer again because it is so cool. You made an awesome animated trailer that I can't find the window of all of a sudden. Damn it. Hold on a sec.
Good.
Let me go back. Where is it? Is this it? Suplexes and scares? No, that ain't it. Oh, right. Okay, went to that one afterwards. Damn it. Hold on a sec. Mad Dog Morgan animated trailer. That's the one. Let me bring that up. I'll get rid of that up here. And Mo really appreciates that you did your own voiceover on this one, which is a dig at me because I didn't do that.
Well, I think the thing about it is I've always brought in my, an actor who's worked with me on a TV show, even though Rob really holds that over me. I miss those. I thought, I'm going to do it this time myself so it stays a little more homegrown and it doesn't get too polished in its nature. And so that's kind of why I ended up doing it. I
think it came out great. I really like it. I think you really distilled it down. All right, here we go. We're going to stop talking about it. We're going to watch it. We'll go full screen. We'll put it there and enjoy.
If evil could be distilled down into bricks and stacked one atop another until they formed a house where wicked things are done by wicked men, then this would be such a house, luring in the depraved and abandoned, feasting on their tainted souls and transforming them into the monsters that haunt its halls. And it's calling out for another. Mitchell Mad Dog Morgan was a jabroni, and never was. His dreams of wrestling are in the dumpster out back. He's going to drink himself to death and end it all, not knowing the house he plans to do it in has an even darker plan for him. It's going to break down his soul and claim it for its own. Mad Dog may have never been destined for glory in the ring, but all his failures were leading him to this. the main event of his life. To battle the house and free the souls inside. He will crawl, scream, bleed, but he's not backing down.
There you go. All right.
Boom.
Find my all things again. That's why actually I like to have the trailers on the thing so I don't get lost afterwards, which is inevitably, what always happens. But that's all right. Here we go. There we are. We're back. Bada bing, bada boom. We did lose Esquivo. He tried to get in. It wouldn't work. So
Well, the problem is he couldn't get it to share his screen on the Procreate. I know. I wish Streamer would do that where you could stream the screen.
You can do it, but you need to do it with a computer. So you plug it into your computer, and then you open it as a window in, like, say, another program. I use QuickTime as a shared. It's a whole rigmarole.
Yeah,
I did it maybe once or twice, and I'm like, this is annoying. I'm not doing this again.
yeah.
Felissa Chan, so cool. It does look very cool. Maxi Dallo. I've been a fan of Maxi's work since going back probably 10 years now.
10 years? Has it been that long? Wow.
Yeah. On Maxi was the artist on Jack Irons, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was 2015 at least.
Was it that?
Wow. The first issue. Yeah. That's one of the first books I backed.
Wow.
Through crowdfunding back in the day.
Because I saw Maxi 5 years ago and immediately fell in love with his work. I was like, I got to be working with this guy. So then we've done two books together, and he's the best. He's doing a new book called Lost Fantasy. So if anybody a fan of Maxi, he's doing this next little arc of his book called Lost Fantasy. It's on Image. It's a very good. I read the first 4 issues, and then he's like, Adam, I'm picking up the next arc, and I was so pumped. It's an incredibly good book, and Maxi's doing an amazing job. And
speaking of amazing jobs, Sumo says Adam has a great track record. In my opinion, I'll back anything he's connected to. Yeah, that's it. Track record with books. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I appreciate absolutely. That, Sumo.
Yeah, I don't know if I've backed all. I didn't get the 8th. But I think I came on because that's when we sort of first met each other. Remember we went on a stream together?
Yes.
Was it Tugs? Was it Tugs stream? It was someone's stream.
Yeah, I think it might have been. I forget who it was where we met each other and hit it off.
Yeah.
And it's been 5 years.
Oh, this looks cool.
I know. Well, I've got to get you a copy of it. The next thing you back, I'll include that so you get it.
One of these days. Death Metal Hero back in 96. Thank you very much. You must be getting up here, getting close to 100, up to 97. I've missed the tick up thing, but what's it on in US dollars? 7,655 so far, which is a fantastic first couple of days to it. Remember, you get this is a hardcover Kickstarter exclusive cover here. You can get it in 2 different options, and they both come with a rad slipcase thing. Brian Kriskow worked on the script with you. I didn't know that.
That's right. So Brian Kriskow, who I absolutely love. I'm going to meet up with him here in the city as well too. An amazing writer. And so early on, I had the story worked out, but I was so busy shooting. I was like, "Hey, Brian, can I pay you to come on and start crafting out this script?" And so he delivered an incredible script. And then I've added pages to it and shifted things, etc. He kind of passed it to me, and then I've taken it across the finish line.
Collaborative effort.
Yeah. But he was a key player for sure.
And Mark Burtonshaw, 95. Thank you so much. And Eddie Winkler, just back. He's probably 97.
Eddie, I had a great chance to meet. I was filming a commercial in Chicago and got to hang out with him and Phil. And it was great. Eddie's a good man.
Eddie
Sovereign
is
Wolf.
great.
Where's Volume 2, Eddie?
I know, right?
Sovereign Wolf. Where's Volume 2?
See it. When I was looking for books to read for this month, I saw that and I was like, oh man. It's been a long time. We want to see another one coming. Death Metal Hero says, Adam, come to Heroes Con next year.
Where is Heroes Con? Where is Heroes Con?
That one is in, it was in South Carolina, I think. I don't know if it's in the same place every year. I think it was. Don't quote me on that. Charlotte, there you go. Is that in South or North Carolina?
No, it's in Charlotte.
It's over there somewhere.
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's in
go.
South.
I was gonna go, but it was just bad economically, bad timing. Because for me to go over, it's not like I can carry over a whole bunch of books to sell. And then there's also sort of visa issues. Like actually technically allowed to sell unless you have a working visa. And I was like, I don't know if I can justify $5,000 just to go over and meet everyone, which I would love to do. But
no, I know that's the thing about it is every time I go to a con, I was like, man, the cost of all this. But then when you meet all the people, like there was an artist, Patrick Piazzalonga, who I love, who did Monsters Are My Business, and he has this new book called Gunpowder Profits, who I loved, and I've been reviewing his books, etc. And I came in to this retailer event, and he was there, showing his original pages. I bought 2 of them. And I was just like, yeah. And he immediately recognized me. He's like, dude, Adam, you've been reviewing my books. And it's like, it's a really kind of a special thing about cons is all the connectivity. Like when you get to meet people.
I had a great time at Tampa. That's the only one I've been to. Yep. But again, it's like, it is a good chunk of money.
Yeah, you feel it. You're like, oof, that left a mark here.
But Sumo Thori had to put his money where his mouth is. He just backed it.
Sumo,
what is going on with your typing today? It's we got Buzz in the house. I just read The Ace, Volume 3. Big recommend. Have you heard of The Ace?
I have. I backed the first 2. I kind of odd I missed the third one. But I backed
the first.
Talk about
a massive jump in art quality. Same team too.
Really?
But really, really good. Fun sort of space superhero book. So you can check out that review that's out there now. It's funny, we started doing similar things again. I sort of took a break from it just because I was so busy with my own work, reading all these comics and everything. But it's been good to get back onto it and start reading more books again, because that's sort of your thing. That's what you've become known for.
Yeah, I think that it's opened to so many doors for me as well too, because other creators, they get to recognize who you are because you're promoting their stuff and talking about them. Mm-hmm. It creates a conversation and a world. I think that doing review videos and reading a heavy amount of comics, want to also you love it even more, right? Because there's one thing to talk about it, but it's like, I read all this stuff. And when you go to a con and you're like, I read your book. And like, oh, you did? It changes the whole language when you're interacting with somebody whose work you've read.
100%. And I've always thought that was always my kind of thing that I didn't like about what I was doing, helping guys promote stuff. And just, especially because I'm being an artist as well, it was, it's so hard to find time. But yes, and I've talked about this with Phil Diaz too, is like, if you're going to write comics, you really do have to read them as well. I was like, you're so right. And I like doing it for like a YouTube thing or whatever, it forces you to actually read the stuff you've got. And I think it's just something that we all should be doing. It's just reading more because, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. There is no other way to slice it. It's like, it's picking up the books and reading them. And then also too, once you've read, once you've done several thousand pages, you start to just know the language of it so much better. Yeah. And you can talk about it, I think, more powerfully, and you can respect and appreciate the things that are good, because you're like, it's like I remember after finishing Berserk, or when I finished Akira, it's like, I've been with these guys for 6 or 9, and these ones is like, 4,000 and 9,000 pages. You're like, I know this creator. If I met this creator, I know his work intimately enough that I could talk endlessly,
Yeah.
But like,
hey, Rob brings it on himself. Every time I bring up reading, he's like, reading.
Yeah. No, but you have to make a discipline of it. Like I try to read some comics every single day, so that way they can build up and I can do videos and you can talk about it. But also too, when you start reading them more and you're tracking people on X or on Instagram, wherever you're seeing people, you start to become in, like, you're in the river, right? Of like what is happening in creators and who they're connecting with, and it's just more fun. It's just
It
a
is.
lot
It
more
really,
fun.
no, it really makes a massive difference, especially for me personally, rather than just promoting, actually knowing what all these books are and what the stories are and what they're talking about. And I have my own personal favorites, and that probably, shows with, who I like to promote more and that. But 100% couldn't agree with it. Did you say Esquivo was drawing something for us? Can we
He is
get a look
drawing
at it?
something for us right now. Let's see it, Esquivo.
Because you got
We-
like 5 minutes left.
We got
and I
5
don't
minutes
wanna
left, and
miss
so
it.
here,
You can zoom in.
let me zoom in. So this is his quick take on Mad Dog Morgan.
Hey,
I'm gonna have him send this to you, Michael, on X, so you can throw it
Awesome.
up, because I know the
Awesome.
glare on this is not helping it.
No, we can see it. We can see it.
Yep.
Great
This is
work,
dope.
man.
Yeah, do you want to send it to Michael on X?
I'll send it right now.
Yeah.
What's the whip? We're gonna call it.
It's a whip. It's a whip. It's just he
It's
was
all right.
doing
We
while
can
we were
say that.
streaming. It always makes any stream more exciting when somebody's drawing.
It does. Yeah. I went on a stream once with Arvid Nelson, and he had Oren on, his artist. I'd never met Oren. And this was sort of about probably before I knew what they were doing with Band of the Crow. And Oren drew Ella live.
No
and
way.
I was like, who the hell is this guy? He drew this most amazing thing. And then he becomes Oren, who drew Band of the Crow, which is this most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I always remember that. I'm like, damn, did that happen?
Yeah. No, I agree. And artists are what this is about. Yeah, you have to experience a lot of stories. That's exactly right. You need to experience a lot of stories. And also too, there's about understanding the rhythms of things, and also too, it's just expanding your own mind. I don't know if you're reading Absolute Martian Manhunter that Denny's Camp and Javier Rodriguez is doing.
No.
But it's like one of the most amazing comics I've ever read. It's a completely different take on the Martian Manhunter, and the way he plays with his art and stories. Like, there's this incredible moment where there's a mass shooter at an event, right? And he kind of he kind of sets it up where telling this person's life story and all the, he had parents and brothers and sisters, and he had a life, he actually was a human at one point before he became a monster, right? And there's this great moment where then a sniper takes him out, and when the bullet hits the front of his head, instead of blowing brain matter out of the back of his head, it blows out all the memories of his life before he became the killer.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it was such a beautiful moment, right? That I remember reading that moment and being like, man, seeing that changed the way I see storytelling for the better.
That's
like
cool.
The thought on that of like, he's still a monster. It's not that you're saying you're justifying what he's doing, but at one point he wasn't. There's all these pieces, and then that's what blew out the back of him, is all these things that were at one point good,
Yeah.
And it really made you sit, especially because we had like that event with Charlie Kirk where there was an assassin. I went to college at that school.
Oh, no way.
My nieces were there at the event. My brother-in-law's a professor there, so it was like it really resonated. That just
it did all over the world. Like,
clearly, yeah.
My daughter, massive fan of Charlie Kirk.
So was he? Yeah.
Big deal in our house for like a couple of weeks. Has really affected a lot of people. That I totally get that. Like, sometimes you read something and it can just click, or you see something and you just like, oh yeah, and it pushes you to, I gotta like be in the mix with these guys and be experimenting more and doing cool things and not just being on autopilot. And 100%, I totally get that. This book is looking amazing. Everyone is watching what you're doing, Adam, doing some really cool stuff. I've got mine ordered. I can't wait to get it. And I'll check out Martian Manhunter, because you know what I want to do? I want to do like more little videos on just that sort of stuff, not sort of talking about the whole book, but like cool moments in books
that
are interesting, whether it's the writing or the art or whatever, and you know, make more content on that sort of stuff. It's something I've been thinking about for a while now. But to do that, I've got to read. So
yeah, you got to read them. Yeah, and Mark, you're right. It's one of the coolest comics on the shelf right now.
All right, cool.
I'll
check
you
that out.
you don't see it. I didn't see it coming. I read that first issue and I was like, oh, this guy's doing something different. And you know, I think that's of that though. I've tried to capture that as well as I could in this story, a world where like there is this sort of deep or spiritual and emotional story layered underneath a big epic sprawling story of, I shouldn't say it's not big because it's sort of singular story, but this big sprawling story of this wrestler trying to make good in his life. And there's something about it when you come to an event where you're going to see wrestling and horror, but then underneath the surface, there's this great emotional arc. So you walk away from it being like, yeah, I got it. It feels so good because it wasn't just what was on the surface. There was all this stuff underneath. So
hell yeah. It sounds fantastic.
Yep.
Sumo says, by the way, kudos on the classy background. Makes Bancroft look like he's in a strip club. Well, you know, we don't all have Brooklyn offices. You know, I'm in my backyard here in my cottage, but we make do. Adam, we do have to leave it there. I have to get to work. It's always
thank you, Michael, for having me
pleasure.
on, dude. And thank you, everybody, for backing. I love this stream. The people who are here, I feel like I've been blessed all these years to be able to interact with you on these. And it's an awesome thing. And thanks to everyone who contributes to these stories and makes them happen. Yeah.
Always a pleasure. I don't know I don't know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I might swap out. I'll see if Rob wants to do the art share tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. He might not be able to. I'm just going to see. I think Aaron was live, but of course he doesn't show up on my thing. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find him. YouTube. YouTube. Greybeards is live. Or there's Rocky, but I don't know if you know what Rocky might. Let's give some love to Rocky Ballesteros. Is doing Wednesday comics. Let's see if I can do the raid. I can't. Oh, Rocky. All right, let's see if I can send everyone over to Aaron. If I can't, we're just going to end it. There's some people that have this turned off. I can't. All right, well, that's going to be it. No raid. I hope you all had a great show. Thanks so much for coming on, Adam. You guys are awesome. Go and watch whoever you want to watch. Until then, have a good night. All right, bye.
Perth made an Australian video, and I wasn't even in it.
Emotional damage.